Tired of feeling tired? Done with diet culture? Overwhelmed by conflicting nutrition and fitness messages? Then join us, your hosts of the Nutrition Revolution podcast, as we take a deep dive into all things women's fitness and nutrition. I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Tabitha. And together we are debunking diet culture myths and giving you the tools you need to finally see the results you're looking for. It's time to revolutionize your nutrition and training.
All right, team, today we are here talking about burnout, why women burn out, generally speaking, more often than men do. And that's real.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that men don't.
Yeah.
And that men don't get stressed. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
But burnout culture does impact women disproportionately. So how to recognize it and what to do about it, and how you can experience burnout from trying to be healthy, like healthy lifestyle burnout. That's a real thing.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I think anyone in the industry has experienced this.
All of it.
In some capacity, right?
Yeah, I give you a dissertation about my journey and the burnout that I went through.
I think because people who own businesses in the industry and see it from not only our perspective, but also from our clients' perspective, and also from the male-female perspective, like, it's so real and tangible. Like, I feel like we try to do all of the things. And as a business owner, I'll like try stuff for my clients and then be like, no wonder they're burned out. Like, this is terrible. Like, trying so many yo-yo, like, oh, let's go cold plunge, let's go do this, let's go do that, and none of it works the same way that it worked for my husband or for client to client, right? Like female to female, it's so different for everyone. And so I think that burnout is so real, especially if you're on social media, because you're seeing other people, oh, this works for them, I'm going to try that, and then it doesn't work for you, and you're like, well, then nothing's working. Right. I'm not getting results. So this is just my life now. And then you just feel bummed out. And what's the point?
It feeds into that like mindset, that struggle. And what I hear is from so many like high performing women. And notice when we say high performing, I'm not talking about the CEO of Target. Okay. I'm talking about like the woman who has a job and or a couple kids, and maybe her job is full time in the home, because that's a job too. Yeah. But just is, trying doing to do a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
Exactly. That feels exhausted even when they're doing everything, quote, right. End quote.
Yeah.
You can't see my air quotes.
Right.
So it's about more of like your systems and your lifestyle are mismatched. And I think there's a lot of factors that play into this, like trends that we see on social media, what fitness culture and the fitness industry tells us to do, or what we should be doing, right? Yeah. Diet culture. But for our listeners, I think let's start with what are some of the signs of burnout and like what burnout actually is, because everybody gets tired. That's normal. Like every day you should be eventually at some point later in the day, like, oh, I'm tired, right? That's normal.
Healthy.
Yes, exactly. So it's beyond being tired. Burnout looks more like physical, mental, emotional depletion, right? Where you are in this chronic stress state. It's not just a busy week. So you can have nothing going on around you and you're just not able to fully relax, right?
Yeah. Or you're just tired. Brain is just like
tired but
wired, right?
Yes, like nighttime comes and you're tired but you cannot sleep. And then in the morning you're like just beyond exhausted, prying your eyeballs open, having to like heavily caffeinate yourself in whatever way means possible. And Alani's and Celsius and Red Bulls and whatever else to get through the day. And then where you have kind of this disconnect between your effort and results. So this like frustration loop where you're like, I'm trying to do all the things, I'm not getting results. And it's just this constant loop of like, nothing's working. And then nervous system dysregulation, right? Always on. Like, are you every single day feeling like you're just on all day?
All day long.
All day long.
All day long.
That's not normal.
Right.
Well, it's not healthy.
It's not
productive.
It's not good for you.
Yes.
Like it might be good because you're getting your tasks done that you have to do to basic function, But I feel like sometimes we can't think beyond just like, are the kids fed? Is there food for the family? Is the dog fed? Did I hit all the appointments today? And then by the end of it, you're like, I have nothing left to give.
Nothing
I am
left.
just done.
Shell of a human.
Yeah. And I think that so often early on in my marriage and then in like early motherhood, that's how I lived all the time. Like I would get up before everyone else, make sure the house was clean, make sure that food was prepped for breakfast. And then I would clean the house and do all of our like general tasks of doctor's appointments and, you know, having to take my kids to social events because that's what you're supposed to do. Kids are supposed to play with other kids. So I was tasked with taking them to things that I didn't want to sit and talk to people, but they had to get out. And then you're just emotionally, like at the end of the day, you walk in the house and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't talk. I'm touched out.
I have nothing left to give. I'm touched out. I'm talked out.
Yeah. And your brain is just like, I just want to zone out, which I think is why a lot of us tend to go to our phones and just like scroll.
It is an easy way to zone out.
It is.
For sure.
You know, it's that or like wine, you know, which one am I going to do? You know, I don't drink,
both?
so I got to get my
How
phone.
about both?
Yeah, I think COVID, people were doing both.
Yeah.
And so you find yourself numbing with something, you know, and it's so easy
to just turn off any kind of feeling.
Yeah, because you just don't have anything else to do, right? You just are just like, oh, I can't anymore. And then you try to go to bed and then it's just like Groundhog Day, like it's all starting over and over and over again. And so pulling yourself out of that is a whole lifestyle change that I think is hard. So if you're experiencing the burnout, how do we get out of it?
Women have an invisible load that they carry, right? You have work, home, planning, emotional labor. You're kind of always on call. Like I know I always feel like my roles in life as a woman is like just 24/7. And I know men experience that too. I think that's adulting to some extent,
the way someone explained it to me is that women worry about right now. Like they're worried about today, what's happening, the week planning, the month planning, vacations, that kind of stuff. Men are worried about the future,
yes,
right?
5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
They carry this heavy load of like, am I working hard enough today to provide for my lifestyle when I retire, or if something were to happen in 6 months with the bills, or if I were to lose my job? Like they carry that load where we carry the day-to-day
everyday load.
Function.
That's 100% true. My husband and I have this conversation all the time. I am in the trenches of the here and now, in the moment, and he's always talking about the future.
Yeah.
And there are times when I'm like,
can you come to the present?
I'm like, I literally don't care about 5 years from now because this week
I might not make it to 5 years if I keep living like this.
Exactly. No, that's so true. And in fairness, you have to have both, right? Yeah. So there's the burdens are real across the board of adulting and the pressures. And I think, you know, there's decision fatigue that plays a role. And then being a caregiver, even if you don't have kids, you're still a caregiver for your family, at work, your social life. I mean, there's all kinds of ways
women
that women
carry that nurturing role.
We do, and we're expected to be the caregivers in, I think, every setting that we're in. I mean, if you go look at like every PTA on the planet, I would love to see the statistics percentage-wise, female to male.
98.
99% female.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. You know, and that's a caretaking role.
Right. Even in the homeschool world, it's mostly moms that are homeschooling their kids. Very rarely do we have a dad that's like, oh yeah, I'm the full-time homeschool dad.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Carrying a lot. Yeah. You can't train like you have zero stress if your life is saying otherwise, right? And we all have stress. So it's learning, I think, how to cope with it. Like we said earlier, when your systems and lifestyle are mismatched. So how do we have them match up better?
Yeah.
What do we do? And I think if we talk about the fitness industry's role in burnout, this is something that I have definitely processed and worked through myself. I used to be, years ago, in my mid to late 20s and even into my early 30s, very much of that mindset, like no days off culture. Like, and that fed into the same concept and idea. If we're talking about like burnout from healthy living and healthy lifestyle burnout, that same idea that everything you ate had to be earned.
Right.
That food was earned.
Yeah.
Food was also the enemy. And so, well, you didn't get your 6-mile run in. You didn't get your strength training. You didn't get your high intensity, crazy 50 burpee, whatever.
You didn't throw up in the bucket before you left the gym, man. You gotta.
Yeah. Like, did you deserve lunch?
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? So
not till you puke.
The hustle and grind message. Also the fitness industry of like the fasted workouts and then like low carb, low protein, just low total energy, glorifying exhaustion as your discipline. Like you are running on 5 hours of sleep averaging for that week. Yet, yay for you.
You wear it like a badge.
You still got up with that 4:30 a.m. alarm.
Yeah.
And guzzled your pre-workout or your coffee and hit that super intense workout, then skipped breakfast, went home, showered, got everybody up and running and out the door that they needed to, and you still made it to work on time. Like you're crushing it.
Yeah.
Actually, you're crushing your soul.
Right.
And
your hormones.
And your hormones and like your body's like WTF for
and
real.
You're only going to do that for so long.
And that's going to feed into that burnout, right? And I think then the other side of it is if we look at the fitness industry's role, then we have to acknowledge diet culture industry, if that's a thing. Right?
I mean, there is a diet culture industry, whether we want to believe it or not. We are being fed diet culture, and it's getting worse and worse if you are watching it come down the pipeline.
Skipping meals, coffee replacing calories, low protein, low carb.
How long can you go without eating?
Low intake of like everything, even nutrients, training hard without adequate fuel, which I actually think is the biggest issue for women.
Yeah.
And every single client I work with, it is a constant battle of like, okay, if you're going to train harder, you have to eat smarter and better and probably more in certain situations and in the timing of it to avoid physical burnout, but also the emotional, mental burnout, and then to support your body to get the results that you want. Right. So I actually ran into a former client that I had worked with, who I was like just catching up with her. And she was saying how she was preparing for a triathlon. And I'm like, that's so amazing. Like, that's awesome. Like, you should be so proud. And she's like, yeah, I'm really excited. And I'm like, how are you doing like with your nutrition and everything? And she's like, yeah, that's the part where like, I feel like maybe I need like a better plan because I'm hungry all the time. And I'm like, I'm like, good for you for acknowledging that and noticing that, like, because she was telling me how like her training has really, really amped up as it's going to have to if you're prepping for a triathlon. Right. I mean, I'm prepping for a high rocks race and my training's amped up and I'm definitely eating more and trying to get more sleep to help recovery. Anyways, and I told her, I said, well, that's your body is actually sending you messages that right now, if you're constantly feeling hungry and like you eat a meal and an hour later, you're still like, okay, I'm hungry. That's a problem. Right. There needs to be some adjustments there. And I said, just remember, if you don't answer the call, if you don't listen to the messages and respond appropriately, like your body will, I use the word like shut down, but your body will start to not perform for you the way that you need it to.
Especially training for some sort of endurance race. The last thing you want to do is start your race being hungry, or as soon as you start to fall back on your nutrition during that race, it's going to be a disaster.
Yeah. And I mean, underfueling is really, in my opinion, like the silent driver of burnout.
Yeah. And I don't understand why
high performing women.
I think that I think that people get it confused. Like, there's such a difference between working out to feel good, even if you have some aesthetic goals, working out to feel good or to look good, that can all happen. But I feel like people get confused with general working out and nutrition versus things like training for an endurance race or doing bodybuilding. Like, that bodybuilding is completely different, right? So like, I think that people get confused or just like see, I want to look like this person, who, by the way, doesn't look like that all the time.
Right.
I want to look like this person. So I'm going to follow everything that they do. And they watch their like, what I eat in a day videos, or the gyms are posting like what you should eat in a day. And it's like 1,200 calories, an hour cardio session plus a weightlifting session. Like, not every normal person is going to train like that. Like that is completely, you got to be getting ready for something, right?
Yeah. It's an extreme.
In our nutrition, courses and stuff, it talks about like level 1 clients. That's just your general people who want to lose weight, feel better, look good, but still have a life to live.
Yeah.
And these are the basic things they can do that. Level 2, they have some sort of aesthetic goal or some sort of like workout goal for a race. And then level 3 clients are like your rare, they're training for a photo shoot or like a bodybuilding competition or something like that. And so they are extreme. I feel like a lot of people think they have to live that extreme all the time. Yep. And
all
so they're
the
following,
That's the operative,
they're following this
phrase
advice there. And then they feel guilty for like being hungry. And I'm like, well, you've been on 1,200 calories for 7 years. No wonder you're hungry.
It like you're about ready to go do an ultra marathon every single day.
Yeah. Like that's just not, that's why we're burned out.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically and emotionally. Like that is exhausting. You're not going to get those results.
Yeah. Training hard without adequate fuel. In the first couple of weeks, you will see some big shifts in the sense that, yes, in the beginning, you will see some weight loss, right? But when you are constantly training hard without adequate fuel, in the long run, after weeks and months of doing this, you're going to experience that burnout, that burnout from your quote, healthy lifestyle venture, end quote. And that's going to look like the fatigue, that wired feeling, right? Fatigue is not just like I can close my eyes and sleep for hours. Fatigue is that I have no energy, I'm exhausted, but I can't calm my mind and get good restorative sleep. It's being irritable. Like little things set you off, and like every day you're like battling the inner demon to like not crash out on some poor unsuspecting soul who just like
poor children when
needs to be there and like say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Like, cravings at night. Like, so many clients I deal with are always like, the nighttime is the worst. And I'm like, well, let's look at how your day was structured. Again, this is that mismatch between lifestyle and, this is that mismatch between lifestyle and systems. If your system is get up, grind, hustle, hit it hard, go all day with very little fuel, living off of lettuce, coffee, and a prayer. At night.
Yum.
At night, girl, you are going to be so hungry and tired, and those cravings are going to turn up, and you're going to have poor recovery from your workouts, and you're going to have little aches and pains here, and you're going to plateau despite, quote, doing everything right, end quote.
And probably not going to lose weight, by the way.
No, 100%. Yeah, your body's actually, in women, is going to shift to, okay, clearly we're starving. So let's store that, let's store our fat here for energy reserves. So, and then, I mean, this is where, again, then you have like cycle disruptions because your stress is chronically high. You're a little more sensitive to cortisol. Like, cortisol in and of it is a natural hormone that we all have, and it has a purpose, and there are natural regulations in our body to manage it. This is again, when your lifestyle and systems don't align, that's when cortisol becomes problematic. Cortisol in and of itself is not problematic.
No, we need it.
Like it's a natural part of being a human, right? Like adrenaline,
when it's
cortisol, these hormones are
high at the wrong time.
It's when it's high at the wrong time, and then when you're not able to regulate and help bring it down, that then it's a problem. So
I see a lot of women training like men too, and that's also causing issues, right? So trying to go hard, like you said, all the time, or never skip a day, or you have to be in the 5 a.m. club, or you have to we don't have to train like men. In fact, we can't train like men. Mostly just like look at our cycles. Like that's not going to work out for you.
The male hormone profile is linear, and it's like a 24-hour reset.
And when you hit that luteal phase and you're like, why can't I lift this weight anymore? You're burned out because you think you're failing, and you're not. It's your cycle.
Ours ebbs and flows with the phases of the moon, essentially. Yeah. And I mean, I love that. Like, work out with your husband. That's awesome. Like, couples that work out together stay together, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
But my husband and I work out together.
But like you work out together, sure, but don't do the same workout necessarily together. Maybe you can do like modifications or options, right? It can be like similar.
Right.
You can both do bench chest press, but it might look different reps, different load, different recovery protocol built into that workout.
Yeah. I had this moment yesterday in the gym with my husband because we are doing like a workout together because he needs me to make him go out and work out.
And I love
right?
that.
Like he gets overwhelmed with work and then he's like, I just want to play with the kids. And I'm like, but you also should move your body. So like it works out well in seasons that he and I will do a workout together. But yesterday we were doing RDL deadlifts and it was like a build. So we were putting weight on, doing our 10, putting weight on, doing our 10. We got to like 155 and I was like struggling to get all 10 up. And I was like, I still have to hit 165 after this for another round. So
maybe 10 at 165
but he was doing
is not for you.
10 at 155, no problem. And then he did 165, no problem. And I'm over here like dying. And then I was like, oh man, I'm so frustrated. This is so hard. Why is this so hard? Why do you make it look so easy? And he looked at me and he was like, if you were doing the same weight as I was and it looked as easy for you as it did for me, I would have very, very serious questions about my lifting. And I was like, I know in my brain, it makes sense. And, then I started like calculating, all right, what time of the month is it? Like all of these things. And then I just realized like, I'm not trying to compete with you. Like I am just glad that we're out here doing this. I'm moving my body, you're moving your body. And there are times that he, hits the workout really hard. And I'm like, yeah, you can go do that. I'm going to finish with some stretching. Like, it's okay to get out there and just be together in the gym and not have to do the same exact weight, the same exact, everything. We're all growing differently. And I have to even remind myself of that when I'm like seeing him do stuff or his muscles are getting bigger faster. And I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating. But rather than just quitting, it's like, it's okay. Like, I'm not supposed to be the same as him. Like our muscles are not going to grow at the same speed. Our, lifts are not going to increase in the same way. Like I have to remember that. And
your programming needs to look different than his. You can be in there together at the same time, but the programming is going to be looking a little different. So I think that there can be a practical burnout reset plan. And it's pretty simple, really. I think it's going to start with getting your lifestyle and your systems to be in alignment. Okay, so with nutrition, really there's three things, and it's pretty basic. A balanced meal, meaning you've got protein, carbs, and fat present on your plate every single meal, and you're not skipping meals. You can still work in a deficit and eat 3 regular meals a day, right? Like for some reason, we've become a culture that equates deficit with starvation, no food. And like, no, you can just have smaller portion sizes.
You can actually eat a sandwich.
Yeah. You can still give your body access to regular fuel to support it and provide energy and still be in a deficit if that is what you need at the time to reach your goal. Right. So start off, do yourself a solid, start with some breakfast, put some gas in the tank to start the day. To balance, stabilize blood sugar, lower cortisol, get that signaling to your brain that nutrition's coming in. So eat within 1 to 2 hours of waking.
Even if you're not hungry.
Because I think small amounts. Yeah, people say all the time, like, I'm not hungry, I can't eat in the morning, I feel sick. And I'm like, well, you've also kind of conditioned yourself for that. Yeah. So it might take some time to
make yourself a scrambled egg and have at it.
Yeah, to just change that script and get your body used to the fueling. And then guarantee you, like I literally promise you, give it a couple weeks and you're going to actually start to feel better than you have in a long time.
And start waking up hungry.
Yes. And then you will find your appetite
when clients
returning.
I'm like, we fixed you.
Yes, exactly. So eat within an hour or 2 of waking.
Yep.
Balanced meals, 3 meals a day. Stop skipping meals all the time. With your training, I would say if you really are like, okay, wow, this is resonating, this is me, I would say build in a deload week, right? Let yourself get some active rest, reduce the intensity, maybe scale back. And if you're like 5 to 6 days a week, now we're just going to do like 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, 3 lifting days and then some like hiking, walking, biking,
like reduce
swimming,
that high intensity
yoga
stuff. And then your lifestyle, like try to get some sunlight in the morning, right? Like even if it's your drive to work, if it's sunny out, like roll down a window a little bit, and at a stoplight, like put your head out and like look up, like just close your eyes and look up and let that sunlight hit your eyes. Get that, walk daily, not just for the purpose of calories, but just for regulation, just
on the mental health side of it, the burnout, you have to be very clear with your partner. Don't let them guess that you're burning out. Be very clear, like, hey, I'm struggling. Like, I am feeling like I'm going to hit a wall soon and it's not going to be good. Be very clear about like what they need to do to help you or support you. Because I think that made a huge difference when I was coming out of just that motherhood, like burnout, touched out things. I finally looked at my husband. I was like, I feel really guilty that I'm here at home with our children doing all of the things with the kids, and me asking you to wash dishes. I feel bad because you're working all day long. And so I'm trying to do all of it so that when you're done work, you don't have to do anything. And he was like, that's so ridiculous. Like, of course I will wash dishes. Like, it's, shared load. And I was like, I don't know why, but in my brain, I felt guilty. And I wanted him to guess that I wanted him to wash the dishes, but actually talking about it and sharing it. So just not being afraid to like bring someone in and share your load with you and share like what you're actually feeling, rather than having like this expectation that's going to fail all of the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
You just being mindful of that, and then doing some things for your mental health. Like maybe you just need someone to take your kids for 30 minutes while you do go sit in the sunshine and just bask like a snake on a rock or something, right? Like, that always helps, getting out into nature. And sometimes you're right, like doing things that don't have anything to do with counting calories or tracking on your watch. Like you can just go for a walk without tracking it. I don't know if people know that, but you can. You can just go out there and it's okay. Like you don't have to track everything. But then how will you know that you actually did it? And you don't have to post everything, because maybe you're burned out from trying to calculate and regulate every single bit of your life.
Yeah. And let's talk about sleep and bedtime.
Yeah.
This one's huge. You need a consistent bedtime routine.
All of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Consistent bedtime routines are really, really important. Unplugging at a reasonable time. I mean, if you are someone that like the only way you're going to get your exercise in is doing the 5 a.m. classes, then you need to unplug probably a little earlier.
Yeah.
And make that getting into bed, being unplugged from the screen, allowing your body's natural melatonin to peak, allowing your body to relax and your brain and body to start to connect, that mind-body connection of like, okay, it's time to rest, it's time to settle down. And it may take some time for your body to adjust to this. Like I'm not saying it's going to happen in the first night. It might take even a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But getting into those habits of consistency with a bedtime routine to set yourself up for success, to get better sleep.
Yeah.
Better quality sleep, and making that a priority and being consistent with that bedtime to help support yourself through recovering from your burnout. And then supporting yourself once you feel like you've recovered, supporting yourself just moving forward for the rest of your life, because that's so important. I mean, sleep is when our body recovers, when we consolidate our memories, when we improve our cognitive functioning, when our muscles repair, and all the magic of all the good things that we're trying to do through the day really take hold.
Yeah. If you can catch yourself at the beginning of your burnout, sometimes it's waking up and sitting on your phone and scrolling, or going to bed, laying in bed, scrolling on your phone. Like, your bed should be for sleep and sex. Yeah. So don't even have your phone. Like if you start to see like, all right, I've been sitting here on my phone, I should get up. Like maybe start having that rule where your phone goes in a different room, or like a lot of times when I know like I'm stressed out, I'll keep my phone on my husband's side of the bed so that I don't have to like touch it or get to it. And I know like if I have to get up to get it.
Yeah. That's a good one. I would like to, my husband actually keeps his phone on in our closet. We have like a dresser in there, and he keeps his charger and everything there overnight. But then he uses just an old-fashioned alarm clock, one of those archaic, ancient things. Yeah. And but I use my phone as my alarm.
I wonder if young people even know what an alarm clock is.
My kids do.
They?
Yeah. When they started in school, we gave them like alarms and taught them how to use them. Anyways, I digress. So I use my phone as my alarm.
Right.
He uses an old-fashioned alarm clock. I'm kind of really commit, because I have all of my different alarm times in my phone set, so I just go and turn it on. But I have often thought like, that might actually be beneficial for me, because that is something that occasionally I'll catch myself like at night scrolling or first thing in the morning.
Yeah. That's like my first sign of like, I'm burned out. There's something happening. Like I need to figure out what's going on. Is like, I'm not
Scrolling
normally a
more.
phone person. And if I start to realize like I'm on my phone a lot, I'm like, all right, what's happening that I need to deal with this?
Make some adjustments.
And it's always like, that's the first thing that goes is morning scrolls or nighttime scrolls. Like I'm like, here's my phone, my alarm's set.
I'm done.
Put it on your side of the bed, because I can't roll over and like wake
Just
him
grab
up.
it.
You know, I have to get up out of bed to get it. Because a lot of times that's what people, you know, they're just sitting on their phones all night long, and then they can't sleep, and they wonder why they're tired when they wake up. Or they're laying in their bed scrolling on their phone all morning, when you should get up, eat some food, get some fresh sunlight, like get that body going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. You don't necessarily need to do more. You need to support what you're already doing. And, you know, strong, high-performing women, they don't just push, they also recover. So hopefully this resonates with you, and you've got some good tips to implement to help you through burnout if you feel like that's something you're struggling with right now. Good luck.
Thanks for spending your time with us. If you found this podcast helpful, we would love for you to share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe on your podcast platform. If you have nutrition or fitness questions you want answered on future episodes, we would love to hear from you. You can submit these questions to our email, thenutritionrevolutionpodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram @thenutritionrevolutionpodcast.